Okay, so I think everything is up and running. Okay, so let's try this again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Alright, I get to drop my fat knowledge now. So this manip that Blue's doing right here at the start, it's just to get us 5 rupee. We used to have a different rupee route, but we all hated it because it wasted a lot of time. So I can't remember who, but they ended up actually finding an RNG manipulation at the very start of the game.
Yeah, it was
to get
completely
us,
by accident, too.
Well, I mean, that's the only way to actually find stuff, right? By complete accident.
Like, it was like some completely new runner, and he was just like, yeah, I just threw this pot here, and then Toadswoot and DRX were like, we never thought about just doing that. So there's actually 2 routes that people do here with this manipulation. The first one is the 1 rupee route, which is the safest and easiest, and still saves time. The other one is a 4 rupee one, where it is a little bit more precise. You have to actually like break pots between the blacksmith's hammer blows, which affect RNG. So I'm not going to be doing that one here. I'm going to be doing the 1 rupee route. The 1 rupee route also allows for a few unique strategies that allow you to abuse damage boosting. So I'll show those off when I get to it.
I haven't played this game in a while, but the community, the TNT community, has done a great job within like the last year or so of finding a lot of new time savers compared to what there used to be.
Yeah, and it's always after an event that it happens too.
Yeah, I mean, there's no point, finding stuff before a big event. Why would you do that?
Like, Vadi 2 3 cycle was found literally days after AGDQ. And it was by accident too in a world record run. Okay, so here we're going to show off what the manipulation did. So first we're going to grab these 20 rupee chest. For some reason in Minish Cap, For some reason in Minish Cap, almost all the rupees that we need are at the beginning of the game. So we have to find rupees whenever we can.
Yeah, this game's nice because there's other Zeldas out there where you need a lot of rupees throughout. This one you actually don't need a ton. We need 20 for a bottle, 40 for a ring, and 60 for a mushroom.
Yeah.
So we don't actually need a whole lot of rupees throughout the run, and most of this is within the first like 50 minutes that we need all the stuff. So
yeah. There's also going to be a manipulation that we use for flipperless, which is another route difference between runners. Quo found a manipulation. We basically need 4 new kinstones now for the flipperless route, so that we can fuse with the Tingle Brothers for a magic boomerang. And in order to get those kinstones, we find 3 in Cave of Flames, but we need to manipulate another green kinstone that we need. And so there's 2 distinct ones that runners do. One is in the halfway point in Fortress of Winds, and the other is during Boots Quest, which me and Quo do, called the Brioche Manip, where we actually buy bread to get a kinstone inside of it. And we use 20 rupees for that because we have a lot more extra rupees because of a new rupee route that we use for Cave of Flames.
So I just want to already complain. You just talk through the best music in the game. The entire thing you talk through. You have no respect.
And then Flames Olsen comes in, it's like, Palace of Winds, hello?
So, I mean, we got, there's not a whole lot to talk about when it comes to this game off the start. It's just, the first 2 dungeons are pretty generic, there's not too much. I mean, Blue was just talking about RNG manipulation and Cave of Flames, but it's a really straightforward game off the start until we get to more game-breaking stuff. Most of it is just rolling and attacking.
Yeah. I guess we can talk about tech smashing a little bit.
Yeah, we can always talk about
that. In this game, tech smashing is actually really nice compared to other games. Literally, the way it works is you hold B to make text go even faster than the setting is already set, and then any other input changes the text box. So, like, the fastest way you can do it is just spin the control stick, because even directional inputs go to the next text box.
And this game's really weird, too, because it actually has, like, 6 different settings of text speed. At the very start, when you make a file, there's a couple options you can change. You can change the brightness setting, and you can also change the text speed. So of course we're speedrunners, so we put that on fast. But Well, inside the game, if you hold down the B button, the text goes faster as well. So they have pretty much 6 different text speeds: slow, medium, fast, plus holding down the B button for each one and not holding it. So I don't know why they felt the need for all this different text speeds, but there's a bunch of it. So yeah, mashing text on this game is interesting because ideally what you want to do is hold B, mash the as many buttons as you can while spinning the joystick, because everything that you press will advance the text. So I mean, you can hear Blue in case you're wondering what that noise was.
That's like a Minish Cap signature. Like, if you ever go to a Minish Cap runner, you will literally hear that noise. It's like, if you don't hear it, that's when you suspect something.
Feasible whenever anybody wants to find a way to do a randomizer for Minish Cap. So right here, we're just getting the map and the broken sword story-related stuff. Because, you know, every Zelda game, they have to have the child save the world and all this nonsense, so...
Hey, in this game they justify it, so... Basically, like, that blade was made by the Minish, and only children can see the Minish, so they send a child to, like, hey, can you go ask them to fix the sword, because we kind of need it. So they're like, okay, fine, we'll send the child to do it, because only he can see it. So, there's a lot of movement that will be happening in the first half of the game, most of it being, you know, precise rolling. You'll see me walk a little bit here and there to try to position myself a little better. Doesn't always work, and this guy is in a really bad spot. So the unique thing in this game with rolling compared to other Zelda games is that at the start of your roll, you're actually invincible. So you can actually roll through a lot of danger without getting hit. So we'll be abusing that a lot throughout the game.
Rolling is actually one of the things I actually hated the most about speedrunning this game, because you roll a lot. Even after you get boots, spoiler alert, there's Pegasus boots in the game. But even after you get the boots, you'll still roll a lot throughout the game. So, one, it's just really annoying to hit the R button so many times throughout the game. But the biggest reason why is the timing is really, really precise on it. You want to not have a whole lot of downtime between rolls. The less downtime, obviously, the faster you're going overall. So there's some people that are just insanely good at doing it. I'm not one of them. So I hate this game.
Let's see here, 737, not too bad.
So we're getting Eslo here, which is, you know, the most awesome hat of all the Zelda games because it talks to you. He is actually your companion in the game. Everybody knows Zeldas have their companions. They just decided to put this one on top of your head.
He also casts magic that lets you shrink to the size of a Minish.
And unfortunately, this game felt the need to force you to watch these cutscenes. So there's a few different items that allow you to change. There's a tree stump, there's a jar, there's a rock, and like each one that you go to, each brand new one that you go to, you have to watch a cutscene of it. So like right there, he just did a tree stump. So now whenever he goes to a tree stump again, he can just skip the cutscene.
Another unique thing with the rolling is that if you do it at the edge or on an incline of something, Link will actually just slide off it. So it helps a bit with like not needing too precise of rolls, which is nice. So you could see me abuse that with those acorns that I just slid across them because they were at an angle.
So this right here, I don't know what the logic is on this, why they decided to do this, but so when you come to this area, you can't understand what they're saying. The Picori are talking and you have no idea what they're saying. So you go and talk to this guy, he can actually speak English. I'm assuming that's the language they're speaking. Or I guess in this case it'd be Japanese.
Or Hylian.
So he tells you that there's like a special nut you can grab and it'll actually allow you to understand them. So he's actually coming over here just to pick this up so now he can understand the Picori. Video game logic.
And it's called a Jabbernut.
Yeah, which, I mean, is a terrific name considering the fact that it helps you understand people talking. So now that he's got that, he's just going to go to another old dude, and this guy's going to explain to Lunk about the 4 elements. And this game takes place around like the whole 4 swords era type thing, so it's in that. So the whole point of this game is to collect the 4 elements, combine them into the Picori blade that broke at the beginning, and make the 4 sword, allowing you to defeat Vai. And this game is really annoying and redundant about the elements too. It is, because every time you get an element, you have to go back and fuse it to increase your sword's power. So he'll go to the same place a lot throughout the game to increase his sword's power.
Okay, here we go. This dungeon will highlight the rolling through enemies the most of any of them. Luckily, that room can actually go annoyingly bad, but luckily they cooperated.
Yeah, the slugs, they can be a pain sometimes. That's the big issue with this game. Is there's a lot of RNG, just small RNG about enemy placement, enemy movement.
Yeah.
Most of it, it never really costs a lot of time if they're in your way, but it's one of those things that's just frustrating to always have to walk out of your way or just slightly move or to get around enemies.
I mean, it's one of those things that it's that you can kind of enjoy with the game, where you just see your experience with the game just improve things over time. Because like you react to things better, you can respond, and just the more experienced you are with the game, you can get a consistently better time, even if you get messed up with enemy patterns.
So this game's actually pretty cool though, because since you're Minish, it allows you to go into objects that are normal size, but since you're small. So right here, we're actually burning spider webs that are forcing this barrel, or causing this barrel not to spin. So we burn spider webs on both sides, now it can spin, we rotate the barrel. This game's actually got some pretty cool mechanics to it. That's one of them. Stuff like, just small things like that, rotating the barrel while you're inside of it. Unfortunately, he got slightly bad luck with that P-hat. Or not P-hat, what is that?
Yeah, you mean the flying guy, right? Yeah, P-hat.
Yeah, okay. It's been a while, But you can actually get that P-hat to be in a good location where you don't have to kill him. It doesn't waste a whole lot of time to kill him, but it's the speed running. The frames matter.
Yeah.
Hashtag save the frames.
You'll also notice that I tend to not roll whenever there's like a text about to come up from Eslo. If you roll into an Eslo trigger, you actually have to stand there for like 2 seconds or something until he finally talks, so we walk into it.
Which makes no sense at all. You just roll into an Eslo text, like, oh, whoa, we gotta wait a little bit until we can activate this.
Eslo can't talk when your head is on him. He's face down in the ground.
I wish Eslo was face down in the ground.
2, 3.5. So here's one of the best rooms to highlight rolling through enemies, so we're gonna hope that things cooperate with us. Completely random how these guys move, so we're gonna hope that it works out for us. Oh, it does not work out for me here. He's even in the corner!
The best, aren't you?
Yeah. Can you imagine? Okay, so here we go. Ooh, this is pretty nice. Okay, that was very good. I was able to pin them each against the wall.
That was a pretty good room.
It's like, I can't wait to highlight rolling through enemies. Can't roll through any of them. So it feels good, man.
I say, in case you guys thought I was joking or lying, there really isn't a whole lot to talk about in the first few dungeons.
I was hoping I could roll through him, but that was risky.
So we actually get our first mini-boss, which, it's every Minish Cap runner has pre-cycled this guy, and every Minish Cap runner has felt the shame that comes along with it. It's a very straightforward fight. You just gotta hit his nose while he's blue. He'll turn white, and then his tail will puff out a heart, and then you just smack that till it dies. And we get a pretty interesting item. It's in Skyward Sword, a version of it's in Skyward Sword. It doesn't really do a whole lot throughout the run. Most of it is just sucking up things, and when we're on lily pads, which you'll see here in a second, it allows him to move the lily pad. And this is probably the worst thing in the game. Everybody hates the lily pad. Come on, let's be serious. Nobody likes this lily pad movement.
I like the lily pad movement.
Okay, nobody important likes
This part actually is terrible because this P-hat is completely random. You can't really help what he does. But luckily, I was able to deal with him pretty easy. Don't go too high. I went too high.
This game's actually got one of the best things in it. We still don't understand what causes it, but this pot that he's putting on the switch, he has to come back into this room, and the pot can actually despawn.
Oh,
So he's gonna put it on the switch, and it'll put down the wall. So he'll go up and come right back down after he grabs a key. For some reason, the pot can despawn. If that happens, he has to actually
just reset the room. Just go back up.
Yeah, reset the room. It's really dumb. Nobody knows why it does it, but the pot will just randomly despawn.
It's been happening a lot lately. Like at least 6 other people have gotten it in the last month, and I've gotten it twice in the last 2 months. So it's kind of crazy. Like we're thinking maybe it has something to do, like we're accidentally manipulating it without realizing it.
With Minish Cap, it could be literally anything. That's the worst thing about it.
It could just be bodies just sitting there laughing. Okay, so I'm gonna do the safe version of this. I've tried
to do the what?
I've tried using the gust jar there, and I mess it up so much. Like saves like half a second, but you can launch yourself in the water on accident. Ancient vacuum cleaner, I like that. The vacuum cleaner of the goddess.
The rupee manipulation that he did at the very start, we talked about, that saved a lot of time. The reason why is because what we used to do is go to the left and go down that stairwell and grab a 20 rupee in a chest. The reason why it took so much time is the stairwell animation takes a little bit of time, plus you have to suck a spider web, a cobweb off the door, and it takes a little bit to get that off, so it saves us time not having to do that. And now we get the first boss fight in the game. This is as generic as boss fights go. It's, the start of the game, so they wanted something easy. And of course it follows the typical Zelda thing of making you use the dungeon item you just got. So he's just going to suck up all of his goop, and then eventually the guy won't be able to balance himself and he'll tip over.
There's a lot of randomness on this guy too. Like that jump doesn't usually happen, but it just wastes time. And then when he falls down, you have to deal 5 to 9 hits, and it's random how much it is. So you want it to be 5, but obviously I'm not going to get that.
Yeah, right as you hit the number that it's set, he'll instantly stand back up. So you want it to be 5 because he'll stand up right away. So it's just faster overall. Plus, when he starts leaning at the start, after he starts wobbling, you want to be on the side he starts leaning, because either he'll lean 3 or 4 times. If you're on the side he first started, he'll fall over on his third lean, which of course is faster.
Of course, I got 9 hits on the second one.
Why would you get good at it? This is Minish Cap. How dare
Yeah, right. So a ideal time is under 18 minutes when you finish the wind element or the earth element. So we got 1750, so that's pretty good. Dun, 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 dun. That's my favorite jingle of like any like special item get from a Zelda game. Okay. We grab all the heart containers in the run. You can skip them if you want, but like you might have noticed that there's like almost no invincibility frames in this game. Like you can get hit and then you can just have it snowball into an insane amount of damage. And so
plus,
yeah, what?
There's some enemies later on that do insane damage. So the ball and chain guys do like what, 4 or something like that?
Yeah,
3?
it's crazy.
Some crazy amount. So it's not needed to grab the hearts, like Blue was saying. The Taz doesn't grab them because it's a Taz, but we all do because we suck at this game and we need as much health as possible.
There's 2 specific parts that are just stack on the damage. One of them is actually coming up, and this is where the another bit of route difference based on if you do the 4 rupee manip and not, is that I'm going to be using a lot of damage boosts because the extra rupees that I need that the other route won't get actually is in a fairy fountain, so I'm able to just damage boost there. And another, like, that might seem minor, but there can be items that spawn there, and they'll cause text boxes. That damage boost will actually guarantee that you will not have any text box happen there. I don't know if anyone else does that. I think I might be the only one, but it's really nice.
Another interesting thing about this game, the bombs. There's actually 3 different bomb timers on the game. If you just place a bomb, it's so many frames. I can't remember the numbers, it's been a while. But you can also, if you place a bomb and pick it up right away, it actually lowers the amount of frames by like 16 or something. And then there's also a glitch called Roll Lift, which Blue will do that quite a bit throughout the run, and that cuts off a ton of frames. So it actually saves a lot of time throughout. So I mean, you almost will never see a Minish Cap runner just place the bomb. They either always place a bomb, pick it up right away, or they roll lift it, because it just cuts off a lot of time.
So the first thing of the new route is that we actually grabbed that wind crest that was down there. We're going to use that, I think, like twice in the run. Once to get to Tingle, that's down there, and the other is to get to Palace of Winds faster than going through town.
So Blue just for some reason decided to skip over the fact that he just saved and quit there. But it's not the fact that he just saved and quit that bothers me. It's the fact that he saved and quit while talking to Hurdy-Gurdy Man. Imagine a name any better than that. Try it. Hurdy-Gurdy Man. The reason why we save and quit there, what he wants you to do is fuse kinstones with them, because that's one of the gimmicks with this game is kinstones. It wants you to fuse kinstones so it can, kind of demonstrate to you what it is. But the problem is after you do that, not only do you have to watch the kinstone fusion animation, it'll be a giant animation afterwards showing you what the kinstone unlocked. And right there is the roll lift I was just explaining.
Yeah, you can tell I did a roll lift because you'll see the bomb kind of bounce a little bit before I pick it up. And so you'll see how much faster that it blew up. And you can see again, I used damage boosting since coming up here is where I grabbed the extra rupees in a fairy fountain. Oop. So we had to use 20 rupees to get this bottle, and then we need 40 to get the... Oh, you kidding me. Move, thank you. Unfortunately, I couldn't roll through him because rolling is actually 2 frames to do that. You have to move up for 1 frame and then roll. So he would have just damaged me back onto the ladder. This work. Yeah, super slide. Alright, so this is the second Minish portal that we have to watch. There's only one more after that. So here we have to grab this mineral water to grow a seed to continue the mountain climb. Okay. It's actually really hard not to fall into that water. It's something I have done an awful lot.
I think I've done it every single time I've ever played the game.
Yeah, it's really hard not to.
It was actually funny. One of the old world record holders, the guy that was the world record holder for a long time when I got into the game, MB Rules, he actually used to count his rolls right there. It made me laugh every time he did it. He would actually out loud count how many rolls he was going towards the water. So right there, that's what I was just talking about. Blue placed the bomb, picked it up, threw it, and then picked it up again and threw it. It just cuts off a few frames of the bomb's timer. So like I said, you'll never see anybody ever just place a bomb.
So it's very important that you don't drop this spring water, because that is the place that we just left is the only place to find it, and we need it at the top of this mountain. So we equip it ahead of time to save a menu, but that's also risky so that you don't drop it. I don't know anybody who's dropped the water yet, but it is a clear threat.
Yeah, that's, if anybody, anybody that knows anything about Zelda speedrunning, you'll know that menuing is a big thing. And you obviously want to menu as little as possible, so we'll always put on the items that we need way ahead of advance. So, like right now, he needs the Gust Jar for that little bit of, I don't even know what that stuff was on the ground, but to get rid of that so he could access the Minish portal, and then he needs the bottle right after. So you'll notice a lot of the times he'll equip items and then not use them for a while. It's just so we don't have to re-menu.
The reason why I put spring water on A is because we text mash by holding B, and so that's why I do that. Like, it's just a personal thing. Since we text mash with B, it's more dangerous to have it on B.
Alright, so we got quite possibly the best quote-unquote glitch in the entire game right here. I don't know why it happens, but you're not supposed to do this. With this mushroom right here, when you grab it, you're not supposed to go up there. the mushrooms on a higher level than you are, you're actually supposed to bomb the wall straight ahead of you on the bridge, and then go through and go up top. But for some reason, when you gust jar over towards that mushroom, it just grabs it for you. So it actually saves us a few seconds of having to go inside of the building and having to do another menu. Which we honestly, I mean, it wouldn't hurt us anyway, because we need the
No!
bomb anyway.
Ah! Stupid pea-hats. Luckily I got a roll lift, so... Not too much time.
Hey, what's up, Wink? Alright, so right here is the second item that we have to buy in the game. This is the grip ring. It allows us to climb up the walls on the right side that you just saw right there. We only ever use it one time, right? I can't remember ever using it anywhere else.
Yeah, I think it's just...
Yeah, I've never actually thought about it before. Yeah, it's just one time. So it's climbing up this giant wall right here to get to the second dungeon.
Please do not own me. I wish to not be owned live on Handheld Heroes. These rocks are completely random and are like the main reason we grab the heart container. They do a half heart of damage. So, and you can see how dangerous the climb was already, so...
Yeah, this is another one of these... This is another one of the things that I'm pretty sure every TMC runner has done. I'm pretty sure every single TMC runner has died on this climb right here.
Did you see both those rocks hit me at the same time?
Yeah, that's Mount Cranial, man. Enjoy. High toads, dude.
You sounded like Zelda from Breath of the Wild. Sorry. Oh my god, I got owned by 2 raindrops there. Man, this is... Whew.
Okay, yeah, there's a good chance I'm gonna just stop commentating if PLD keeps making comments like that.
I mean, at least they didn't say you sounded like Zelda from Breath of the Wild, okay?
Alright, so this game has a few puzzles in it, and I say that word very, very loosely, because not many of them are very hard to figure out, but a lot of it's just a time wasting like this. We need to push this rock over, because we need it to block a hole. Yeah, there's a lot of block pushing in this game, for no reason other than to just waste your time.
A neat little reference is that this soundtrack that's playing right now is from the intro for Link to the Past. There's a lot of Link to the Past references in this game. Like, the game over music is the story intro when you turn on the game. Hopefully we don't get to see that, but if it happens, I will we can experience it together.
You're so cursed now, man.
Yeah.
Good thing is you got that as your fallback now. Like, oh, I just really wanted to.
It's like, we're behind schedule, you know? Or we're ahead of schedule. So we gotta waste some time. Okay. There was actually one time, Atros, right here, that guy below me, he actually went north for some reason, and so he knocked me off the cliff and stood there, so every time I respawned, I got knocked back off the cliff until he moved.
Wow, that's really impressive, because I've actually never seen them go north, ever.
Yeah, and so some of my wonderful Minish Cap viewers clipped it.
Here's another brilliant block pushing puzzle. Really simple, just don't push it into a spot where you can't get it out of. The Capcom people really thought hard about these puzzles.
I mean, I think they're impressive. It's like the highlight of the run is pushing those blocks. Okay,
well, yeah, because the rest of the run is Minish Cap, so...
why would you be there? Okay, it's fine.
Maybe one day there'll be a Minish Cap run where people don't rag on Minish Cap.
It's my favorite speed game in the world. It's got a little bit of everything. I probably could have rolled one more time there. Okay, so here's the blacksmith that's going to fix the sword. So we're going to leave it here with him while we try to get the fire element. And so the fire element, Cave of Flames, is the second difference with the new route, so I'll mention it when we get to it.
So anybody that knows Tokyo Boy, I gotta give him a quick shout out. He actually was making a tutorial for this game, because he learned this game and speedran it for a little bit, and he was making a tutorial. While making the tutorial, he forgot that sword after the second dungeon.
Yeah, after we finish the dungeon, you have to grab that sword, or you can't continue the excuse me, there we go. Or you can't continue the game.
So I just like reminding people of
What?
that so they never forget
No!
it. because Oh wow!
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. That was me,
Come on, man.
yeah, that was me trying to turn too early. I was trying to do some quick movement there, but instead I got owned. Okay, so luckily we grabbed those 2 hearts at the start just to be at the same health as when we came in.
So the good thing is this game's got some bombs. So, you know, we decided to steal some of the enemies from Mario games.
They are
There's also
actually
this-
called bombs too.
Yeah, and there's actually Lakitus later on as well.
Huh?
If you thought I was joking about stealing Mario enemies.
Okay. So here we're going to actually grab bombs and kill that Bob-omb because it'll help us later on in the run. Okay. I didn't want to unleash it too soon, otherwise I might have missed, and I didn't want him hitting me, which cancels it.
So he picks up the bomb right there with his
What?
gust jar, because this room right here, he needs it to pull the masks off
Excuse me?
the,
Sir? Sir?
I'm blanking on their name.
Sir? Sir! Please! What was that?
You're just not having anything go your way. So yeah, they're not supposed to do that. They're supposed to charge at you or just randomly charge. Blue always could have used his gust jar.
Yeah, but I didn't think that would happen. Yeah, I should have just used the gust jar, but I was expecting him to charge immediately, but he didn't.
Because how that enemy works is its backside is open and weak, but while it's got the mask on, the only thing you can hit is its backside. But if you use the gust jar, it pulls the mask off, and they just aimlessly run around, and then you can attack him wherever and do damage.
Yeah, and his charge is actually faster than sitting there with the gust jar, so... Like, I was just trying to get him to charge, but he didn't. So, whatever.
Try to save frames in
Yeah.
seconds.
If you get the chance at any point during the run, can you take your microphone volume down about 10%?
Sure.
Thanks.
So here is actually one difference. We used to grab the chest there for rupees, but now we're not going to do that anymore because of a change in the route here. Turned on the mic. Oop. Okay, there.
Yeah, this new route is so weird because you skip the 20 rupees right before the very end of Mount Cranel, and then you just skip the rupees there.
Yeah, because we're actually going to grab a 100 rupee chest in here because we have to grab 3 kinstones here for the new route.
So I really have no idea why I'm commentating this game because the route has changed quite a bit since I last played it.
Well,
And I haven't kept up with the game too much, so a lot of this I'm going to be seeing for the first time too.
unfortunately, we still get to give Atros a shout out for a strat we'll be doing here in a little bit.
You guys still haven't improved this yet? Come on now.
And I still mess it up once in a while.
Oh,
So, should I grab the heart? Yeah, I think I'll grab the heart for safety.
Alright, so we just gotta give Blue some crap real quick. He's grabbing a safety card. Wow, Blue.
Excuse me.
That is your 3rd safety heart. Alright, so right here, if you line up your hand, this is how I do it. If you line up your hand with a certain spot on the ground, you can spin attack the 3 left spike chews. Blue missed it a little bit, but he did it correctly. If you're going to miss it, you want to miss it low. And then you just kill the top guy if you miss the spin attack on the 3, and then you just spin attack the rest of them as they jump towards you. Super easy fight. Blue messed it up just a tiny bit because he stunned the guy on the top, but that's about as good as you can really have it by messing up. So I don't know how many times people have rode that cart back when they try to go to the pillar to push the chest. I think, again, this is one of the things that every Minish Cap runner has done. They've accidentally jumped back in that line. We all suck at this game, in case you guys haven't figured that out by now.
One of the most legendary times of it is when we actually sooner found a manipulation for a kinstone instead of just opening a chest that was right there.
We're not a bright bunch. I mean, we speedrun Minish Cap, so obviously we're not very bright.
go. Small thing for like movement. When you're in Minish, it's actually faster to walk diagonal than to roll up and then left, for example. While it's the opposite for when you're regular size Link.
So these enemies are actually pretty interesting because they're one of the few enemies you can't roll through. If you actually are in mid-roll, where your invincibility frames will be, they'll still damage you. So we just roll into them, take the damage, and then roll through them while we're invulnerable from the hit. It's a lot faster than doing what they want you to do, which is, move away from it and then back and forth and all that. So this, again, with like some of the rooms they put in this game, I don't really understand why, because they're not challenging, they're not a good puzzle. But this one, they put 4 roly-polies, and just you have to hit them, make them go into the ball form, and then just throw them into the hole so you can grab the switch that's on top of that pillar.
So here's the first route difference for Minish Cap. For the current route, we grab the green kinstone there, and there'll be 2 more that we grab in this dungeon. And it actually makes the final room, Atros, you might remember the boss room being like the most easy-going room to get the boss key, because you have to wait for the cycle anyway, so you just, take your time. Now it's the opposite, where you are actually very tight on time, and if you mess up, even 1 second, you have to wait 12 seconds for the cycle again.
That is actually one thing I did know about. I was actually in your stream a couple days ago, and I saw you playing. You were actually at that section. I was like, wow, that's a weird timing. Why was he so late to that platform? And then I figured it's probably because you just were doing something different.
The Atros was in my stream, and I didn't know?
Yeah, I like to lurk. I am actually lurking in everybody's channel on Twitch. I don't ever talk. Actually, right now, I'm lurking in every single Twitch channel.
So there's the second kinstone that we grabbed. You can actually roll fast enough to make it ahead of that of the way back of the trap. You can actually roll fast enough to stay ahead of it. But if you mess it up, you take so much more damage. So I just do the cycle on the way back and damage boost through just 1 hit. So here's that room.
If you guys haven't noticed yet, the Cane of Pachi allows us to shoot into holes and allow us to like shoot ourselves up in the air. And it also allows us to flip platforms and a few other things throughout the game. It's an item that actually gets used surprisingly a good amount throughout the game.
Okay, so this is the room where you have to be extremely fast and precise, and if you mess up at all, then you won't make the cycle, so I'm going to try my best to get it.
No, Wind, I actually have like 700 computers, just so I can lurk in every single Twitch channel on Twitch.
He just puts them all at 166. Okay.
Oh wow, I've never actually even been over to this section of this dungeon before. I don't even know if I actually knew that it existed. I think I did at some point.
I missed! No! No! I took damage. I rolled too early.
Wow.
Darn. Yeah. I would have actually made it too, but I walked too early, and so when I got hit by it just before it flipped. So, darn. That's a shame.
I think we're just going to have to mercy kill you after that. I'm sorry, man.
It's like a 10-second loss from that.
We're going to have to give it the rain treatment.
Yeah, right. Alright, so Glee Rock is actually a pretty simple fight, but if you want to get... I'm going to try to get the quick hit real fast. Boop. Okay, got it.
Alright, so I just have to point it out because it's become a meme for the TMC community. It took everybody the longest time to realize this. I don't think anybody realized it until I pointed it out. But after years of playing this game, I realized that there's Glee Rocks on the wall.
The boss is imprinted, yep. Right there.
I pointed that out to everybody, and everybody's response was, wait, what? Huh? So I actually had to look up an image on Google to show everybody, and everybody just was mind-boggled. So we are not the most observant community either. So with this fight, it's obvious you just want to hit him as quickly as you can. You can't hit his shell until it's flat, and you actually want to be on the top side. It saves a few frames with the shell dropping if you're on the top section compared to the left, right, or bottom.
I guess something I can mention, because I don't really see anything. If you're at the top, it's actually a lot harder to dodge because there's less time for them falling. So if you're ever low on health, stay near the bottom during the falling rocks part, so it's easier to dodge.
And I believe the most amount of hearts anybody's ever gotten before on the second cycle was like 10 or something like that. It's a pretty high number. I think it was like by Marill when he used to run this game. Just a little side game everybody does during the Blue Rock is they count their hearts.
Fiesel, what's it that you just noticed? Alright, so 40-20. Not a bad pace considering some of the luck we've gotten. It's pretty good. We're still on the pace for something wonderful. It's actually the longest wait for any element as well. I think it's like 20 seconds for that cutscene to happen. It's incredibly long.
40.
Is it really?
Years ago, I timed it because I always wanted to know what time I was going to get for that element. So instead of just waiting to pick up the element, I actually sat there and timed it one time, and it's about 40 seconds. From like Gleerock's death to pick up the element. It's an incredibly long one.
Okay, so here we have to pick up the sword so that we can actually continue the game. The gameplay reason being that you'll upgrade the sword with the two elements that we have, earth and fire, and it'll give us an ability that we need in order to actually continue the game. So it's very important that we grab it, otherwise you're stuck. And it's not like it's hidden either that you have to grab the sword. Ezlo reminds you like 4 times, like throughout the run, and then anytime you hit select and talk to him, he'll tell you to grab it as well.
Yeah, because Ezlo is just nice like that. He's not annoying at all.
Whew, jeez, that guy was like in my way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we have to grab that wind crest for a lot of things, actually.
That used to be the only wind crest that we used to grab, but the new route change.
Yeah.
We actually grab one more now, apparently. There's actually, it's weird though, because there's one that is default open already, and you guys will see that after we get the ocarina. So even though we used to only open up one, there's still 2 sections you could fly to.
2 sword adventures.
So this is the area I was saying that Blue will come back to a lot throughout the game. This is the section where this is the spot where he'll fuse an element with his sword, and he has to do this every time he gets an element. Which, of course, I mean, since he's already got 2, we don't have to do it 4 times, thankfully. But after he fuses it here, he'll go and get another one. I mean, it'll be a while until he gets his 3rd element, but after he gets that, he has to come back here. Then after he gets the 4th one, he has to come back here again. So you guys will see this area a few times. The sword always changes color too, it's really cool. So it starts off green, then it goes to red, and then another color, and then it's gold because it's the 4 sword.
Okay, so here's that ability that I mentioned. And actually a funny little thing is that you can't actually hold your sword north here. Like, I guess you can't have your sword on top of that stone statue. Like, anywhere else, you can have your sword, like, kind of hover over things and still charge, but not there. Your sword will just not charge. It's kind of strange. So you actually have to turn around.
Like I was saying earlier, this game is part of like the 4 Swords series era type thing. So that's what we're doing right here. Link is making a copy of himself, and you use that a lot throughout the game. And that's the reason why you have to come back here every time you get a new element. Is every single time your sword's damage will go up a little bit, but the reason you have to go back is you need to clone. You need another clone. You'll gain another clone every single time you get a new element. And you'll need that throughout the entire game. So we get Vadi coming down here to talk to us and try to advance the story a little bit. Pretty much all he's sitting there, like, he comes up to you, says a few things, then you walk forward and you just have to fight a few moblins. And then after that, you actually get the backstory of Ezlo and Vadi. And what it was is, Vaati was actually a young apprentice of Eslo, and then he put on... I can't remember the name of the hat.
It's just a cap that grants the wishes of anyone that wears it.
Yeah, and he became evil and bad and blah blah blah, so... Not a whole lot of story to this game in general, but not a lot of story right here either. But that's pretty much what happens. It just... Eslo telling you how Vaati came to be, and Eslo's connection to him.
One nice thing is that there's only like 3 major cutscenes throughout the game, so, and the rest of it is just gameplay. I guess maybe 4 if you count the one before Dark Hyrule Castle. Okay, so here's where we actually need the clones in order to continue the game, is right here. And you'll see that you can charge a sword north there on the ladder.
The clones are pretty interesting in this game too, because they allow you to push boulders that you couldn't do it by yourself. They actually can deal damage by themselves, and they actually take damage too. But when they take damage, they just disappear.
Evil hat guy.
That sounds perfect. That's what I'm gonna start calling him. So just a little bit more story. Vaati shows up in front of the king. They have a short conversation, and then Vaati actually just gets rid of the king and becomes the king. You eventually find the king later on at the very end of the game. We won't actually do it unless you guys have changed the route. But one of the small keys that you actually can get in Dark Hyrule Castle is from unpetrifying the king.
Oops.
We don't do that, so we actually finish the game with the king petrified. So we don't have a king of Hyrule anymore. Hashtag throw the sign. So everybody likes making fun of me because that sign right there, you're supposed to read it and it activates the book quest. How they wanted you to do it in the game was to go up to the swamp, try to go into the swamp. Eslo cutscene will activate telling you, hey, we can't get across this. And then he'll tell you that we need boots. If you just read the sign, it'll tell you don't forget your boots, so that actually activates the cutscene. Well, one of my runs, I accidentally grabbed the sign and destroyed it. So that kind of destroyed the run.
So coming up here will be the first manipulation that we do for the Kinstone. I'm actually really nervous about it. So what we're going to do is we're going to save and quit here, and then try to manipulate a specific green Kinstone. Bombs. My heart's really beating.
So I just want to point out how much sense this game makes. When that dude falls asleep, he knocks a pair of shoes off the counter, and that's why you can go up there. But the shoes just disappear.
I'm actually going to check to make sure that I get it, because there is a chance that you can get a different green Kinstone. Oh, I got a blue one.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, right? We actually found a guaranteed one, so if I mess it up too much, I can just get it later.
So in case you guys were ever wondering how to get your very own Kinstones, just go to a bakery and buy some bread.
Okay, that's the wrong one. Ah, yes, the bad manipulation. Thank you, Toadsweet. I appreciate your support. Just extremely nervous, so... This will be my last time before I get the guaranteed one. It doesn't lose a lot of time messing it up. It loses maybe like 10 seconds total. So... There's a few calls that you can tell if you did it right, so... Green... Okay, that's wrong. So we'll get the guaranteed one now. There's a guaranteed one that we found that's actually in the house for the Palace of Winds, so we'll be getting that one. I'm able to get that manipulation like every time outside of this, which is sad. But I don't want to waste too much time on it. There's another manipulation that you can do that most runners do. It's in Fortress of Winds, but I've never been able to pull it off, so I don't trust it enough to do it in a marathon.
So in case you guys were wondering about Mario and Luigi and their daughter, they're in the game. they're honestly here for nothing. I think they're a little bit. I think they have a little bit more to it in 100%. I've never ran 100%, so I don't know. But the only thing they're here for is any percent is you just get the key to the house, give it to him, and then he's like, oh, well, cool, thanks. And then you can just get to the house, because you got to get through the house to continue on the game.
Excuse me, Baker. There's a rock in my bread. Can you, Hey, you know what they say about kinstones? They're said to bring good luck. So maybe finding one in your bread when you're eating it is actually a good thing. Yeah, we actually, before the marathon, found a guaranteed green kinstone, so just for the marathon. Because normally if you mess it up, you just reset the run, so I wanted to make sure that there was one that I could get. So...
and right now, Blue is actually heading out to get the last item that we need to buy. This is the mushroom I was saying that we have to buy. So if you guys are ever really, really sleepy, or if you are asleep, just take some mushrooms. I'm pretty sure that's what this game is telling us, so you heard it here first, kids. If you're sleepy, just take some mushrooms.
Another neat thing about the brioche manip is that it actually gives you a heart when you do it, and the second, or might even to be debatably, the most damage-inducing part of the run is coming up here. There's like no guaranteed heart drops, and it's just a long gauntlet of possible damage, so it's nice to have that extra little buffer when you're doing it.
So we just wake this guy up the mushroom, and he gives us a pair of boots. I don't know why, but he's generous. He's glad he's awake now. And he, of course, has to hammer them a few times and polish them up so they look nice. And then we're on our way.
Man, I wonder if Mario... So now we have the Pegasus boots, and it allows us to just dash through enemies, which is nice. Don't hit me. One of the more damaging attacks in this game is actually those Moblin spears. It does an awful lot of damage.
So there, Blue actually just skipped a cutscene, a Pegasus cutscene that can, Pegasus, an Eslo cutscene that can actually happen. That's the one that you're supposed to trigger to activate the book quest, or the boot quest. Funny thing enough, even if you don't go there first and you do the boot quest line and everything, the cutscene's still there, so you can still hit it. So he actually will go down into the swamp and run across, so he can avoid that cutscene.
Yeah, my health is looking pretty good right now. But I mean, that can quickly change here. Like, ropes staying in the way. So here we're going to head over here and grab the bow, which is, as usual, a very important item in the game. We're also going to grab some water here as well. Whoops. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. An interesting thing about this lily pad is if you go diagonal, you actually go faster than normal. So that's why you'll see us go one direction and then go another one. Okay, that went really well. I want to grab that heart. I do, actually. Okay, so now that we have the bow. So the goal in this area is that we have to grab 4 kinstones in order to fuse with some totem poles or something. And that way we can continue to the Fortress of Winds. I'm going to go left there a little bit and then roll right, so that way I don't roll into an Eslo cutscene. So that way we save time, and it's still faster than walking. So it's just like, there's a lot... In this game, there's a lot of, like, tiny improvements for movement. Like, it's a lot of tiny things that add up. Which is why I brought up that point earlier. I'll just go through them. So I brought up that point of like the more experienced you are at the game, just the better your time will get if you decide to pick up this game. So the more you play, the more familiar you are with the route, the more familiar you are with like patterns, and so you're able to. Oh, this guy's in a bad spot. Okay. Whoops! I hit Y.
The accidental Eslo talk. Why not?
just to make sure he's still there.
He hasn't said enough throughout this game yet, so give him a little bit of extra time. The old route actually only had 4 Kinstone fusions throughout the entire game.
Yeah.
Even though that was like the big gimmick, was Kinstone fusions, both any percent. Almost all the Kinstone fusions are just side stuff, so you only actually need 4 throughout the entire game. You need more than that if you didn't do Cloud Top skip, but because we skipped that, you end up skipping a lot of the forced Kinstone fusions.
So now we're in the next area. This part can really hammer you with the damage. There's a lot of rolling frames that we'll be using, dashing through enemies, and especially at the end where there's a few really trollish ones. So our health is looking really good right now, so I'm glad about that. Oops, roll didn't come out.
So we got these annoying statues. I can't even remember what their name are, but because again we got Armos. Thank you. Because this game's got its gimmicks. It's Zelda, so it tries to force them on you as much as possible. So one of the gimmicks is of course going Minish. So they added that into the Armos by making you be able to go inside of them and turn them on and off, which we have to do a few times. Thankfully, we don't have to do it too much after this, but after you to get to Fortress of Winds and inside of Fortress of Winds, you have to mess with Armos a decent bit.
This is one of the very few screens that don't reset when you go Minish. Typically when you go Minish, the white flash refreshes and resets the room. This is one of the few ones that don't. However, this one does. So like if you deactivate this Armos, and then you grow and then become Minish again, he'll reactivate, because it'll reset the room.
This is one of the screens that I hate the most, because I've tried to just bypass that Armos as much as possible, and you can almost get it. Like, it's frame perfect, but you can almost get to the spot before he blocks you off, if you're fast enough.
That's what I meant by trolly enemies.
The boomerangs in this route because of a glitch. It used to actually not be. It's something that's kind of newish to the route, so
yeah,
it's pretty cool. You'll enjoy it.
Okay, so now we're in Fortress of Winds, and this is where the glitches start to happen, which is pretty neat. I don't think I'll make this, actually. I might have been able to. It's actually in this dungeon that most people will do the manipulation for that Kinstone that I tried doing earlier. Because you have to save and quit after you get the bull mitts, and so they'll use that to start a manipulation. I've just never been able to pull it off before, so I use that other one.
So one thing interesting about this game is when you step on buttons right there, if you notice that blue wasn't correctly split, there was another skull sitting there that he was supposed to pick up so he could be the exact distance apart to hit those switches. For some reason, the switches stayed pressed just long enough where you can activate the other one. But if I recall correctly, you actually have to activate the left one first, then the right one. You can't do it right to left. You have to do left to right for it to actually work correctly.
You know, I never actually thought about that.
I remember messing with it before, and I could only ever get left to right to work, where you press the left one and move over to the right one. It's been a while, so I might be wrong, but it's a weird little time saver that we have.
So this is the only small key that we get in this dungeon. We're actually going to do a major skip to skip over like half this dungeon. I think it's like, what, 3 minutes that we skip? roll through. Roll through. Yeah, that's like one of the very few times I've actually gotten through that without taking any damage. That's funny. Whoop. Excuse that. Seems my brother's home. Okay. Oh,
can we get some Frank please in the chat, please?
One thing to talk about, though, is that there's actually a, you might have noticed that I was actually able to cancel the bow's animation using the... Ooh.
So Blue's had actually pretty bad luck on
Yeah,
these guys so far. What you want to have happen is they have a couple different attacks they could do. You want them to do a charge attack. If they do the charge attack, you'll bounce over top of them, and then you'll stun lock them into the wall. If they do just the regular sword attack, you will be able to get 2 attacks off, and then you'll have to reset and bounce off the wall again. So it wastes a little bit of time if you don't get the charge attack.
I was a little too early on that. So now we got the digging mitts. So now we're going to do a thing called portal items, where we're going to blow ourselves onto a wall.
Whoa. You just called them the digging mitts.
Yep, the digging mitts.
They're called the mole mitts, man.
I'm sure there's some version that it's called digging mitts.
So from now on, the digging mitts. Nice and simple.
Heck yeah.
So this is one of the first big glitches that we do in this game. He's going to go over here and grab a red kinstone, which he'll need later on to skip a lot of the game. And then he's going to use items on portals plus a bomb boost to get himself on top of the wall. If you use... This game allows you to actually use a couple items on the portals as you're jumping onto them. One of them is the mole mitts. And if you'll notice, when he jumps on, he'll bounce off, so he's a lot higher than he should be. And then afterwards, he's just going to jump, and that's really precise time. It's 4 frames on the bomb. 3 of them are guaranteed. One of them's like a 50-50 frame-wise. And it just pushes him on top of the wall, and he skips the entire, well, not entire dungeon, but half the dungeon by doing that. And so, of course, we get your typical Nintendo head plus 2 hand boss. Really simple boss, and because we picked up the bow and arrow while heading to here, it forces us to use the bow and arrow. But we also picked up the mole mitts in here too, so we have to use those as well. But we also have to use our sword because we have to do damage. Yeah, that's 3 items we've got to use during this boss fight. So the first section, the first cycle, he's just going to shoot both the eyeballs and hands to show the eyeballs that go into the mouth after he falls down. And he's just going to attack the pillar. The pillars are RNG. You can't manipulate them. I'm pretty sure... I remember it being said, and that Taz, not the newest one, the one before that, that the RNG on this is set at the start of the game, like right as you start a new file. But we have no way of manipulating it or knowing about it, so we just have to check all 6 pillars. The only knowledge that we have is it can't be the pillar it was before. So the very first cycle was the front middle, so he knew it wasn't the front middle. But the problem is he has to switch to the mole mitts to dig to the pillars, so it's just a giant waste of time digging through and checking all the pillars. Oh, speaking of tags, there's Tompa.
That was almost bad.
So again, he just did the back right, so he knows it's not the back right. So he's just going to dig through, checking the front 3 and then the back ones. And he got really lucky there because it was actually the front middle. So that wasn't bad RNG. Ideally, you want it to be front, so you're never digging around. Or at least like the first ones that you go to. I mean, all in all, it was a pretty good RNG fight.
Okay, so now we get the ocarina, which is where a lot of glitches and exploits start to happen.
This actually used to be the only glitch that we had in this game before a few more got found. So this is the cool one.
All right, so now we're gonna start doing the new route for Flipperless. So the first thing we do is we head to South Hyrule Field so that we can talk to Tingle to activate his brothers as well as fuse with him. The kinstone that I need with this route I'm actually able to get on the way. Well, kind of on the way. You'll see. So first we fuse with Tingle, because we need to get the magic boomerang, which you have to fuse with all 4 Tingle brothers to get. The one that I'm missing is actually the last one, or the second to last one that we fuse with, so it's I'm able to grab that guaranteed one. So now we go over here. Boop. And so now we're going to save and quit, because we're going to do another manipulation. Okay. Ah. So here we're going to be doing the ocarina glitch. It's a frame-perfect trick that you have to play the ocarina as you're entering a doorway. It's pretty precise. No. Okay. 3rd time's the charm.
Yeah.
This is probably the most difficult one of the run.
This was actually an ocarina glitch that everybody in the TMC community knew existed, but nobody ever used it because it was extremely hard to pull off.
Yeah, it's really difficult, but I got it.
How the ocarina glitch works is as you're entering a door that causes a cutscene, if you activate the ocarina the exact frame like you're entering, it won't actually push you in because the ocarina animation will stop you.
Mm-hmm.
But then it messes with your Z coordinate, which is your height, and all kinds of crazy stuff happens. The reason why nobody ever did that one is because you have to use the woman walking around to push you into the door to open the door, so you can actually do the ocarina glitch, because you can't actually open the door and ocarina glitch.
Yeah, if you open the door, it forces you inside, which is what happened on that second attempt, as you saw. It was forcing you inside, even though you had gotten the door open. So what you have to do is you have to have the lady push you out of bounds, and it'll force you back in. So that's kind of what we're doing there. These casts also do like the most damage in the game. They do like 3/4 heart.
And they're just a pain in the butt in general to deal with.
Okay, so here we have to grab a fairy so that we can do another house OG, kind of like the one I just did, a little bit later in the run. And it'll also be a safety save when I get there.
That's the worst thing about this game, is it doesn't have a net. You just catch the fairies by swinging a bottle around.
Okay, so here I'm going to force myself to take a lot of damage. I'm only going to go down to 1 heart for safety. But these guys do a half heart of damage, which is a lot more than later. Because we need to get ourselves down to at least half a heart, and it's fastest to just take damage on them. Okay. So now we continue with the tingles. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head over to the stranger and the blue tingle. So this guy, his fusion's super important. It lets us skip a large part of the game that we would have to do after Temple of Droplets. So we're just getting him prepared now.
Yeah, it allows us to skip the graveyard, a small section after the graveyard, and the cloud tops, which everybody hates the cloud tops because it's got the worst music. I was just trying to see how many people I can make mad by saying that.
Yeah. I did the typical equip the ocarina instead of the moments. It's okay. Okay, so here's the second tingle that we fuse with. Okay. And so now after this, we're going to go and grab the guaranteed kinstone. Because we need it for the white tingle brother. Okay, equip the boots. Get out, Atros. Atros, you have bad opinions.
See, I agree with Tompa. I have no idea what the cloud tops even
I've just never seen it. Like I didn't even know it existed. I've never seen it.
I've heard of it, but I just thought it was like some foreign, unknown land.
Okay, and then we save and quit to get out of here.
Aren't you going to save the guy that's being haunted by a ghost?
I'm sorry, what? I didn't notice.
Aww. Pure heartlessness.
Okay, so now we head to, Kylia.
So this is the area that I was telling you about that was already actually unlocked. So if you get the ocarina, and you haven't unlocked any of the areas yet, I can't even think what they're called, you can actually still fly to that one. That one's always unlocked because you can't actually get to it anyway, but you actually do need it to continue the storyline.
How many controllers I go through? Whoops. I think it's like, what, you do like 3 rolls, then it's faster to do Pegasus boots or something like that?
Yeah, I timed it once before, and it's roughly around the length. If the distance you're going is about 3 rolls, rolling's faster. If it's further than 3 rolls, running's faster. I mean, it might not be absolutely exact. I just timed it, which by doing rolls and running.
My ocarina time was like 1:03:30 or something. That's like a minute behind PB. But that's because I failed the manipulation like 3 or 4 times. In PB, I got it first try. Okay, so now that we've fused with all 4 Tingle Brothers, we head over to get the magic boomerang. I'm gonna equip the boots here. So now we go through each one of these 4 trees and activate the torch.
Why aren't you grabbing the chest? I'm sure they have fat loot in there.
Actually, I decided to check them today when I was looking for like marathon strats, and there's actually 3 red kinstones and 1 shells.
But Blue, what do the shells do?
They're used for figurines.
Figurines, you say?
Yeah.
What are figurines?
Figurines are like these figures that you have that you collect. You collect figurines for 100%. It gets you a heart piece, and they also have like information and lore on them for each of the characters.
Yeah, before there was RNG manipulation on the figurines, it used to be about like 2 hours of pulling a lever to get all the figurines, and it was pure RNG. So I don't know why MB ever did runs of it, but he did multiple runs of 100%, and it was just, yeah. But now there's actually an RNG manipulation on the figurines, so it actually goes a lot quicker.
Alright, so there's a setup here that I'm going to try to focus on. We're going to safety save here, because if you fail it, you lose a lot of time. We do that so that we can open the door. Since there's no NPC that we can use to push us in, we have to destroy ourselves. Okay, got it. Okay, so unlike that other one where it took me 3 tries, this one I got first try.
I like the setup for that. That's actually pretty cool.
It was found by Yadra, I believe. Before, we used to do a Eslo buffer, where we place the bomb down and we use Eslo buffering to time it.
So that's another one that we've known existed for a while. The first Taz that Tompa did, he actually did that in it. It just was something that we never did because we didn't really see a way that it'd ever be possible RTA.
Yeah, it's so hard. I'm so glad that that setup is there. The slow buffering was really difficult.
It's funny because if I recall correctly, Tompa actually timed it later on and said that that's actually slower to do compared to just, you know, the old way of just running in there. But since you guys are doing it now because you don't have flippers and you're doing flipperless, obviously it's faster. It's the only way to get in there.
Man, I'm nervous. Go. So we got the small key. So now another difference is that, so the first half of this dungeon is actually why we needed the, flippers. So now we're going to do a glitch to skip the first Hello? Let me stop talking and actually do the trick.
So the ocarina glitch is kind of a pain to pull off sometimes because
Yeah.
it is a frame perfect glitch.
There we go. Whew,
Um,
that was strange.
Right after you hit the up button, you need to activate the ocarina exactly a frame after. So if you do it too early, you're just going to play the ocarina. If you do it too late, you're just going to walk down the stairwell. And both of them waste a good chunk of time. Walking down the stairwell is the worst because you have to walk back up the stairwell.
I have a conspiracy theory that, like, what the heck? Okay, I have a conspiracy theory that, like, if you play the ocarina too early, that you actually have to wait longer in order to actually do it again. Instead of being able to do it as soon as you see Link get back into position. Because like, I swear every time I try to do it, if I play it too early, I just mess it up if I go too fast.
There you go, I like that idea. Why don't you guys just use fake flippers?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, you never thought about that, did you?
No, I didn't. No, I'm top 4. Hello? I'm sorry, like, I'm just really nervous. Like, I'm trying not to, like, show it, but man. Okay, so now we're going to be doing one of the new tricks, using the magic boomerang. So we have to get Ocarina Glitch here so that we can actually pull it off. Excuse me, sir? Oh my god.
And the ocarina glitch can only be used on a doorway that does a cutscene, so like the stairwells right here, so, or houses after you open up the door. So that's why he had to run all the way to here. Plus, it's the nearest door minus that one.
Yeah.
So like that door won't work because it doesn't do a cutscene, a small little cutscene of walking down or upstairs. So.
Okay, so basically what we did there is that we were able to use the magic boomerang to make Link walk past the loading zone. And so then what we had to do is there's actually a chance that you can soft lock the game. So we used the Cane of Pachi to see if we're on the right subpixel. And so that's what you saw me doing there. Oop. And then we can use the magic boomerang to make this fight a breeze. Oh, we actually killed him. Hey look, a green kinstone, probably the one that I was missing. And so then once we finally get it, we have to mash pause so that we don't get trapped in a wall. Hold up to get on top of the wall, and then we go left to do the white loading zone, which cancels the ocarina glitch, which is a little faster than playing the ocarina itself. So... and then we're able to skip the first half, so we don't need to use the flippers.
Bamboo Shadow, there are a few version-specific glitches, but the Ocarina glitch is not one of them. It can be used on all the versions. The use items on Minish portals, that one is version-specific. You can use it on the EU and the JP, you can't use it on the US. So we all use the Japanese version because 1, it allows us to do that glitch, 2, exits faster. Blue, how in the world did you just fall down there?
That's a good question.
Is there anybody in the crowd that's actually good at this game that wants to finish this up for Blue?
Hey, it's not that bad. I'm not doing too bad.
No.
I think I'm on like a 156 or something like this right now.
Stainer, why do you gotta lie to Tompa and say you still have this Taz? His Taz is outdated and needs to be fixed.
Subpixels! Anything that goes wrong, it's subpixels. Okay, so let's hope that this guy cooperates with me, unlike the green version.
Bad thing is, I don't think Tompa's ever gonna redo the Taz of this anytime soon.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6.
So, in case you guys weren't here earlier or don't recognize this boss, he is the first boss, the first dungeon boss, the main boss. Slightly different this time. One, he's blue. In case you guys are colorblind, we're helping him out with colors. And he's electrified, which the only thing with the electricity, if you would get hit by him, Link will do a shock animation, and you can't actually suck up his food while he's electrified. So it's just a lot of time wasted.
9. The worst you can get. Okay, cool. So, he worked with me here. You want him to do this 5 jumps because it'll make it to where he'll go right below you exactly when he's revealable, which is nice.
Stainer, I will actually run this game if Conqueror will redo the Taz.
Nuh-uh.
Just one time. That's it.
Just
one time, okay, Conqueror the Taz.
So you'll do it with the new route. Okay, did a run. Got top 2. What am I doing? What new boots?
So this right here is one of the more useless items in the game. We have very few uses for it.
Actually, there's a new trick with it.
We're talking about the Rock's Cape fight.
No.
That's something new?
Yeah, we actually found a glitch with it
Oh, cool.
that you use in Palace of Winds to skip the second half of the dungeon.
It's still a pretty useless item.
Yeah, because you could use the
that.
magic boomerang for it, so yeah. You could use the magic boomerang for it.
I say before, it was just used for this dungeon. You had to use it to unfreeze Octorok, and then we used it to light up some torches in Dark Hyrule Castle. That was it.
Yeah. And I guess also on Vadi to actually see, but I guess you don't really need it for that.
Yeah. I mean, you can always just, you know, swing your sword around like a madman.
Yeah. Eventually you'll get the good luck. Okay.
Pioneer, why would you ever want to skip Ezla? So, what number are we guessing here?
Oh yeah. So on this boss, it's actually completely random whether or not he cooperates with you. There's no manipulation, there's no rhyme or reason. So you can get between 0 to 2 inks, which is, I guess we'll show you if we get it. But it can waste, I think, like 30-40 seconds each one. So...
Bamboo, Blue refuses to update his time on the leaderboard, that's why. And I'm pretty sure there is a manipulation. I think it was
my wind mask, yeah.
Windmask has actually found a manipulation for Octorok. The big problem is it requires a save and quit and blah blah blah. So it's actually slower to do it than if you were to just get a regular 1 ink. It's actually faster if you get 2 ink. I'm pretty sure it's actually faster if it was a manipulation.
Can I reach this? Nope. Go around again. Okay. Alright, so the first and second phases are predetermined. The first one he's guaranteed to hit 3 times. The second one he's going to inhale, then he's going to rock, then he's going to inhale, and rock.
Yeah, his first and second phase is static. It's his third phase that's completely random. Or of course, Blue could have always said blow and suck like most people. But
So now the moment of truth. So now it's completely random whether he'll inhale or if he'll just use his rock immediately. So we'll see how he treats us. We want him to use the rock immediately if we're lucky. Nope. Okay, so this is the ink we were telling you about. So now we have to sit here and wait through this, this phase.
which is just a really dumb thing that they put in the game because it's impossible for him to hit you if you're just sitting in that corner or the one on the opposite side. Plus, he's just super easy to avoid overall. The only big issue you got to deal with is the falling rocks, but those can be avoided pretty easily too.
So we got 1 ink.
Which is the standard. It's actually, like, out of all the runs I've done, the majority of them have been 1 ink. It's actually kind of rare for him to do 0 and 2.
Alright. So we've done flipperless. We have completed the Temple of Droplets without the flippers live on twitch.tv at the Handheld Heroes Marathon on July 16th, 2017 at 9:06 a.m. Eastern, US. For some reason, the text box is faster there. Not sure why.
I can't even remember what that ghost says. The king of the ghost that just pops up, which is weird too, because he's not dead either. But his ghost just shows up.
Sword wouldn't have had an ink. That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Alright, so now that Blue got another element, he has to go back here and add it to his sword. The only difference is, since Body is the king now, he has the guards patrolling and refusing to let Link in. So you have to sneak past the guards. One thing that's really weird about this game is the guard speeds are actually different on, I think, all the versions. I'm not 100% certain about EU, but I know for a fact US and JP, the movement on the guards are different.
Yeah, I think it's like the last guard loads sooner or earlier.
Yeah,
so
and it's actually it's incredibly hard to get past the guard on in one cycle on the US. The Japanese version makes it super easy to get past them.
Do braceletless. Oh my god. I already have enough pressure on me, Wind Mask. I'm like unreasonably like on edge. Alright. So now we fused our sword. We can now clone ourselves 3 times. Like, we could actually go ahead and go to the last palace, like, right now if we wanted to, but you need the 3 clones in order to actually continue in it. So if we were to go there now, we would actually, you know, not be able to continue, so we would have to turn back anyway. Could you imagine if we could Ocarina in the courtyard there, since, you know, we're outside?
Ocarina and do what?
In the court, yeah, because we have to leave then Ocarina to go to Palace of Winds, so it's like you Ocarina
Oh,
from
I mean,
there.
yeah, okay. I get what you're saying now. I was like, wait, what? Yeah, it would be nice.
That could be similar to like the Palace of Winds entrance. So now we're here, and we're going to use the Ocarina glitch to get past these NPCs that are blocking our way.
Because the Ocarina glitch changes your height, it allows you to just walk right through them. Which, this saves a lot of time, because you don't have to go to the graveyard and do all the side stuff there, and then go to the cloud tops and fly around in the cloud tops doing a bunch of Kinstone fusions.
Okay, we're actually going to grab a safety ferry for the marathon. Okay, and so now we get to use the boomerang in this first room to make it a little easier. Okay, so far everything's looking nice. But the skeletons are usually the ones that really make your day terrible. Like, look at this guy. Whoa! I thought he fell off, but he didn't. Oh, scary. What a duder.
This dungeon has a lot of just kind of waste of time. These moving platforms just are a pain. There's nothing you can really do to skip them. You just gotta sit here and slowly move on them.
Yeah.
This is, this was one of the dungeons that we just couldn't find anything for the longest time on.
Yeah.
The big skips.
It was always so close, but... Oh, I missed. Not too bad. One extra cycle. It's not the worst. I put the bomb down a little too late because I got hit at the top, so... But it worked out fine.
So these, the clouds here are really interesting because you're supposed to jump all the way up them. That's how they intended it. But the transition area, you can actually just jump straight to it after you climb up so many clouds. It's different per each cloud section. You just gotta climb up the amount of clouds that you need and then just jump and you'll hit the transition. It's actually a decent bit faster than just jumping up each cloud. And then that jump he did onto the moving platform actually skips a side section that you're supposed to do. It's a really easy jump too. The game actually was really nice about it because you can time it really easily based on the enemies.
Yeah.
You just use them to time the jump.
Just messing up the easy strat, thanks. The lantern strategy is actually something that myself and Usual came up with. It's because we found it a lot easier because the lantern instant kills Wizrobes, so it's a lot less precise timing-wise than using your sword and bombs. But the sword and bomb strat is a slight bit faster. I think it's like half a second faster. It used to be that the lantern strat was the fastest because it saves you bombs, but since we skipped the second half of this dungeon now, you don't need those extra bombs anymore, so... And here, it's a small time save. If you charge your sword northwards, it actually activates the switches faster. It does it in, like, immediately, instead of having to go through, like, 3/4 of a spin. And then another small glitch, if you press against the wall here, you can see how much space there is between me and the pots, compared to how much you usually need. So it's just a tiny, small time save.
One thing to note about that hot section, years and years ago, we actually used to do that differently. I can't remember who, but somebody actually found that way to do it, and they're like, yeah, this is fast. It's like, wow, how did we never come up with that? So it's even something as small as just moving these pots around, we've actually had somebody readjust before, so... Which is just really sad when you think about it.
Yeah, it was actually for that tiny time save for charging your sword northward. It was actually ACM LM that found that. We used to just charge forward, but it was that tiny bit. I think he said that he did it actually by like I forgot what it was, but it wasn't for the intention of saving time, and it just so happened that it did. And so here we're going to be damage boosting using the boot so that we can make this cycle. And then here's the Lucky Twos. I think they're actually called that too.
I think they are.
Just a bit of platforming. Okay, so I'm gonna attempt a ocarina glitch here. Probably won't work. It's a one frame, one try trick. So I'm gonna try it. But we'll see.
Yeah, the ocarina glitch is already hard enough because it is a frame-perfect glitch, but with this one, instead of him being able to just choose when he's going to do it, he has to go based off of a key.
Just barely. Yeah, basically you want to play the ocarina on the exact frame that that key spawns, and it's really difficult. We've tried to find like setups, try to find like things to look for. Excuse me, sir?
It's actually a pretty cool time save too. It was funny because it was found out that we could do ocarina glitches on a different way while Tampa and Quo were tazzing. I can't remember exactly what they found out, but they found something like, hey, we can activate ocarina glitch doing something else. So Toads ended up pretty much finding that ocarina glitch almost immediately after Tampa said that we could do that.
Tampa found it on the Darknut fight at the...
That's what it was, yeah. And so Tampa and Quo actually had to redo part of this dungeon, or the whole dungeon, because of that glitch.
These guys. No matter what, like, they still hit you. Like, these guys are the worst. No matter what, they just troll you.
Yeah, I've always hated this right here, because they're always right next to that block, and they always walk through it as I'm pushing the block.
Alright, so here's the new glitch that was found. We did something similar to it in the Palace of Wind, or Temple of Droplets. So what you do here is you activate the lantern, and similar to the magic boomerang, it lets you go past the loading zone. So you're able to get like a kind of OG here state, so you can just run right to the boss. It saves a massive amount of time. And so this was found before we found the Temple of Droplets thing. Like after they found this, I forgot who it was, I think it was like Toads or Yadra, they were able to come up with the flipperless route from it.
Alright, now we got everybody's favorite boss fight. York. He's a blast. He forces you to make clones to hit his eyeballs. When you're on the red one, you just gotta copy the pattern and then hit it. And then after you gotta jump on the blue one. The idea here is to always kind of split yourself from your clones, or split a clone from yourself so you can hit every single formation that he does. You don't have to actually copy what he does. You can actually hit some of the formations that he does without any clones, but you need a certain combination to appear. Plus, you need to be standing in a pretty precise location. The blue Georg, it's just letting go of a spin attack right as he opens up his eyeball, and you'll hit it twice. And that'll kill off the Georg.
This is the most difficult part because you don't know if the Georg is going to come in and just like clothesline you. Okay, he cooperate. Okay.
And you want to try to keep your clones in between. Like
yeah.
You just lost it. you don't want to lose your clones because if you do, then you have to reclone yourself. It's just a waste of time.
Yeah, and if you mess up, like, it's just a pain because he'll never like cooperate with you. He actually did cooperate with me there. It was my fault for getting hit.
And then after all that, you get a bunch of green Georgs flying on the screen, which really sucks because you're trying to do a sword charge spin on the blue Georg, and they like hitting you or your sword and stopping the charge.
That was that pattern that was fortunate enough for a cloneless, which is nice because I lost my charge there, so I was able to come back from it. Whew. So not too bad of a fight. Overall, that Palace of Winds wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
And we're still on pace for a pretty good time. Alright, so this is the heart that you could debatably skip, but I'm still not going to do that. Like, I don't think anybody does, except for Quo once in a while. Like, some people skip the heart if their health is high enough, because it refills your health. That's like the most important thing. So, and it saves such a minor amount of time that it's typically not worth it.
Well, you could have skipped it. You did grab a safety fairy.
That's true. I forgot about the fairy. I'm so not used to grabbing it anymore. It's like a what, 2-second time save total.
Yeah, it's not a ton of time.
Watch me miss PB by like 2 seconds somehow.
Alright, so now that he got the Windowland, he's coming back to Hyrule Castle to transmute. What's the word I'm looking for?
Fuse.
Fuse, that's the word.
Transmute.
Dude,
Make a sword collage.
Why not? But he's coming back to fuse that into a sword, and he's going to get the Four Sword, which is obviously, you know, Four Sword Adventure.
Yeah, this is where the Four Sword was created. It was right here.
Very on the nose. And then after he gets that, he's going to have a cutscene, and then we get the last dungeon, which is Dark Hyrule Castle. It's really nice, too, because you don't really have to travel to it. I mean, I guess you do, because you have to travel here to fuse your element to your sword, but after that, you don't have to travel to it. You're just in the dungeon.
Yeah, I love doing cloneless on Georg. It's like my favorite thing in the Georg fight. Like, anytime I can do it. And it's such a good, like, backup, too. Because there's so many times you'll lose your clones in Phase 3, and so like if it gives you a cloneless setup, then you don't lose any time from it, which normally you would lose so much more. So I love cloneless. Hope Is Not Lost found it, and I think Pedal Power Luigi and I are the main ones that like advocate for it.
Can we just skip the fact that I said transmute, guys? Seriously. They just couldn't let that go. So if you'll notice, the cutscene that I have here is the exact same cutscene we had at the very beginning of the game. The exact same.
Water, air, and purple.
Except except for just one more little bit of story. Because if you notice there, the windows that you'd see in churches and stuff, I can't even remember what these things
Stained
are.
glass.
Stained glass, yes. Dude, my brain's not here. Just
Oh, I
not here.
remember because my mom used to make stained glass when I grew up. So, it's
So
like
we
I
get
always
this
remember.
stained glass Zelda with a little bit more story to it.
Yeah, it says that the thing that Vadi's actually been searching for is inside Zelda, and so he's like, dude, thanks. And then he's like, I'll just go kill her right now and get it. And we're like, ah, crap. It's about here that Link goes, oh crap. When he's face down in the ground. Vadi will never be able to do that again, so that's nice.
It is funny though, the fact that Vadi knocks you out 2 different times throughout the game, but then when he transforms to this big villainous-looking thing, you just destroy him. I'll never understand that about this game.
Transmuted glass, I like that. Aw, come on. Alright, so here we're gonna do a little setup. This is a glitch called cutscene walking. Basically what we do is that normally when you use the spin attack on that elder right there, it actually forces you to stand still. But you interrupt that with the Eslo text, and so you'll be able to move again. And so we just keep doing that. Basically that same thing where we have to stand still when we unstone that other guy, but that time the elder's text will let us move. So it saves about 7 seconds over that is a bad position. I tried to dodge it, but he stuck his sword out, or his lance, so I still
So
took
unfortunately, Blue is not going to save the king. To save the king, you'd actually have to go down the screen here, and you'd have to go to Minish form, and then he's just in a cage. It's actually interesting. He's actually locked in a cell while he's petrified. I don't understand the logic of that. But
it's probably so that nobody saves him. Like you lock him, you put him under lock and key. I
yeah,
mean,
but
we
he's
save
still
him anyway, but
petrified. I don't really.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, if you go and save him, he actually hands you a key, and that's how you're supposed to continue on the game. But we just operate a glitch past locked doors.
Okay, so here we're going to do something important. We're going to leave the castle and come back. That makes it to where when we save and quit, we'll spawn at the entrance of the castle instead of back where we unpetrified those guys. And here I'm going to be quiet and try to do a trick. Ah, just barely. I threw the bomb a little too far. Basically what I was going to do there is we're going to have that bomb actually blow back those bullets and then use our sword to hit the other two. It's pretty precise, and it's not really easy.
And it's actually a pretty decent time save too, because not only does it kill the cannons a little bit quicker than charging and making clones, it also skips an Eslo cutscene,
Yeah,
which
it
is
also
always
does.
the best thing, because these are just a giant waste of time. The good thing is, like, if you don't get it though, you have to activate the Eslo cutscene, because when you go to the center of the room, he'll start talking to you, and you can't avoid that if you want to try to make clones. The good thing is, if you do activate it, you don't have to worry about skipping it later, because if you'll have to go back to that stairwell a couple times, and if you don't activate that, then you have to try to avoid it every single time.
Let's try to get these ocarina glitches. Boop.
Pioneer.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's pretty funny. I absolutely adore this game as a speed game. Like, it's my favorite one. Like, I'm always willing to submit it to, like, events and marathons. It's just I have a problem with nerves a lot of the time. So, like, that's... so I do apologize for, like, messing up a few of the ocarina glitches and the manipulation.
Alright, so that's the staircase I was just talking about. He's going to come back to a couple times. The reason why he goes there is because the ocarina glitch changes your height, but while you're there, you can actually change your height again if you go up that set of stairs. So if he would ocarina glitch, he wouldn't have been able to get up on that wall. By him going up that staircase, it allows him to actually go a little bit higher up, so he can just run across the walls and then just go straight to that small key.
Yeah, we need 4 small keys total in order to get through this dungeon. Okay, so let's set this up. Okay, first try, that's good. See, that's the stuff we like to see.
And for anybody who's wondering, because Legrand just said don't bonk, The Ocarina
right.
glitch.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that.
Yeah, with the Ocarina glitch, there's a few ways you can actually soft lock the game. If you activate the Ocarina glitch, then roll in the exact same screen that you activated the Ocarina glitch, it'll soft lock. If you bonk in the same screen that you activated the Ocarina glitch, it'll soft lock. I don't think there's any others, is there?
I'm sure there is.
Probably.
Yeah, well, I'm
But
sure
those are
there
the main two.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure everybody at one time has accidentally rolled after they activated the Ocarina glitch. Because if you play this game, if you speedrun this game, you just
memory.
always roll. Yeah, you are always rolling. So you'll activate the Ocarina glitch and then just muscle memory roll and soft locks the game.
Okay, so this is the last Ocarina glitch of the run. So naturally, I nail it like a boss.
So this is actually one of the cool Ocarina glitches because it allows us to do something that we don't do at all throughout the entire run, except for right here. There's 2 doors that are locked. We're coming in from the opposite angle of where we're supposed to. But if we Ocarina glitch and we come in from the right side, we can actually jump over the doors, which allows us to skip a lot of the dungeon by doing that.
Silly rupee. Oh, another thing about the Ocarina glitch, you need to roll... Oh my god, I just did that.
So what he was saying is
Yeah.
you need to roll.
Yeah, you need to roll to
get
get the... you need to roll in order to do stuff, but I did that, so we're just gonna put the bomb there, and we're gonna do this regularly.
What he was supposed to do there is after you walk into the room, you want to roll because you need to roll to be able to place a bomb there and use items. So roll, place a bomb, and then do what he's doing now with the Ocarina glitch. It saves a good bit of time actually having an Ocarina glitch because you don't have to follow this platform around.
Yeah, with the Ocarina glitch, you can walk on the hole. For some reason, I saw the blue color, and I was like, oh, I got bombs, and then I played the Ocarina.
Yeah, it's the same sound, Del. So, he messed up this fight here.
Yeah.
This is actually one of the best Dark Nuts to fight because all the other ones you have to do like a jump over attack, except for like the ones at the very end, pretty much.
Yeah.
But like all of them, you will like bonk off the wall and have them go over top of you. This one right here, you actually can roll and attack him as he spawns, and you can push him into the door and actually lock him in place. So you can kill him while just attacking him into the doorway.
Yeah, I'm not sure what went wrong there. Maybe I rolled too far to the left.
So there's a bunch of Dark Nuts that you have to fight in Dark Hyrule Castle. There's a bunch of different strategies that people have come up with over the years. Everybody just kind of does their own thing right here. Nobody has actually found something that's concrete better than anything else.
Yeah.
A lot of people like using Rock's Cape because that's something that we've been doing forever. Some people will switch to the boots. I use bomb strats, which I don't even know if that's viable anymore with the new route.
You can. You just pick up bombs at the second Ocarina glitch here.
But they all have their varying different pros and cons.
Come here.
So these Ghiblies are pretty interesting.
Ghiblies.
Ghiblies. I would think that's a name, if I recall correctly. They're actually a pain because there's only one real one, and you have to attack it. And you can figure out which one's the real one when you get hit. But usually when you get grabbed by one, you get grabbed by the rest, and they chain lock you. You'll hop out of one right into another, into another, into another. And actually, I think Ghiblies might be the mummies. I don't know. It's been forever since I've
Guineas.
looked up enemies. Yeah, that's probably what it is. You know how long it's been since I looked up any of the enemies.
Alright, I'm gonna attempt a manipulation. I'm not sure if I'll get it. Oh wait, I can't get it because I have low health. 3. Actually, RNG changes based on with the beeping noise from low health. So I can't do the manipulation here. So we're going to do pure unadulterated skill. Hope you guys are ready.
So we got those 4 small keys just so we could get a big key. Get those are the mummies. Okay.
Gibdo.
I'm just making up words over here.
Ghiblies. I'm gonna start calling them that now. Put it in my
Dude,
splits.
go
Watch out for the Ghiblies.
I was close. They started with a G.
Yep. It's like Studio Guinea.
So So the manipulation that he was talking about was a triple Dark Nut fight right before Vadi. You can actually manipulate them to this Black Dark Nut. You can actually manipulate him to charge at you right away, which is good because you can just jump right over top of him and then roll down and kill him. Instead of just pretty much RNG fighting your way through it.
Yeah. Oof.
Bombs are a good use for these guys because you can hit them when you throw the bomb, and then when the bomb blows up, it stuns them, so you can actually position yourself to stun lock them into a wall.
Yeah.
But bombs are kind of timey to use, plus the route is pretty precise on the bombs that we use throughout, so...
Oof. I'm trying to do like safer jumps instead of the riskier ones so that I don't die.
So this room that we're in right now, after he defeats these guys, he's going to fight Vadi 1 in this room. And there's a few differences in the versions of Vadi 1. The weirdest one is the EU version. There's no pots in that room on the Vadi 1 fight, which I don't understand that. Why did they do that?
Use bombs wisely. Yeah, I do have a fairy, but the reason for wanting to keep it is for actually a later fight.
So this one's actually really nice though because the top 2 pots are hearts and the bottom right is a fairy. The bottom left is arrows, which is really weird because you actually don't need arrows for this fight to do the next fight. So I don't know if they were planning on just allowing you to, helping you out for the next fight. This fight's really pretty basic. He spawns 2 eyeballs. You gotta destroy those, then hit his eyeball that spawns. Then he summons 4 eyeballs, you gotta destroy those, hit his eyeball. Then he spawns 4, destroy those, hit his eyeball. Then he will spawn 4 eyeballs with dark orbs around them, so you guys use the Gust Jar to get rid of him. The biggest issue with this fight is sometimes he'll just close his eyeball early. Sometimes he'll teleport up around a lot. The worst is when you hit him and then he teleports. Because after you hit him, it gives you a certain amount of time to hit him afterwards. That time while he's teleporting actually still counts to the time that you can hit him, so you'll get 1 or 2 hits off and then he'll just teleport away. It's just another cycle.
Okay, so that Vadi 1 fight went really well. Oops.
Now we got Vadi 2, which you use the bow and arrow. The first cycle is always static. It's always the bottom 4. After that, it's RNG. The good thing about this fight is it's not too hard to figure out which ones the eyeballs are. You just gotta shoot the bottom corners. You'll be able to. So right there, he shot the bottom right, so he knows it's either the right side or the bottom. And then just clone yourself and hit the eyeballs.
We're going to be.
You can actually. Good.
We're going to be trying to pull off a Vadi 3. Oh man, this is. Oh no, I don't know if I can do this. Let's see here. No. He actually hit me there, which was unfortunate. I don't know if we can still get the Vadi 3 cycle. If you use the spin attack, you can actually kind of I guess it's overflow his health. But I don't know if you can do it if you lose your clones. He hit me as I did it, so we'll see.
You can actually hit all 4 of the eyeballs without cloning.
Oh yeah, that's really hard.
I don't think I've actually ever seen anybody just be able to do it on command.
I think Pedal Power Luigi has done it in a race.
I'm sure he has, but
yeah, but it's only on the first cycles. You can't. It's not it's really difficult to do it on any future ones.
Yeah, I don't know anybody. What I'm saying is I don't know anybody that can just
just do it on command. Yeah.
I've tried it a million times, never been able to pull it off. It's something that, if you watch the Taz, it's really, really cool, the Taz fight for this, because he just destroys Bonnie. This fight's over in a couple seconds on the Taz.
Yeah, so normally, because of that one mistake, I'd have to do an extra cycle, but I didn't have to do it because I was able to do the skip, so that's kind of nice.
So now we're going Ocarina of Time on this, and we're escaping the dungeon with Zelda. while rocks are falling down and the castles come down around us. Which I guess if we actually go off the official timeline, Ocarina of Time stole this idea.
It's true. We're actually doing pretty good on health. The thing I was worried about with the fairy was this fight, actually. Because you can get pinned against the wall and just destroy it.
So now we got Vadi free because, you know, we just can't ever have one phase of a final boss. This is a pretty generic fight. It's his arms will go underground, pop up, and then you just knock him up with the Kanepachi, and then you can go inside of him and destroy an eyeball inside the arm. You gotta do that for both arms. And then the 4 little eyeballs in front of him will start shooting blue balls at you, and you just gotta knock those back.
The reason I took damage over there is because Vadi will actually stay a distance away from you, and I want him in that corner. So I just went ahead and took the damage there to keep him in that corner, so that it worked out better for me for the arm. And you actually can't take damage on the Minish portal, so we'd use that.
And you want that arm to appear as close to the Minish portal as possible. You can actually, if you do it, I don't know if you do it like really precisely or quickly, you can actually hop off the Minish portal right into the arm.
Can you really? That's awesome.
Yeah. Like you'll hop off and then you'll be like right in front of the arm and you just hold out and you go right into it. You don't have to walk around or anything. It's really hard to do. I've only gotten it a couple times. I don't know how to actually get it to work, but it's possible. So there's a manipulation for this guy, which Blue's messing up. If you knock back, you're supposed to knock back the 4 blue balls, just like gaining Ocarina of Time, something Ocarina of Time stole again from Minish Cap.
Yeah, you stay close enough to him.
Yeah, if you stay close enough to Vadi after you hit the blue balls back and damage him, he will always do the blue ball attack.
If I'm too far.
You're just a little too off to the right.
Yeah, I think I'm too far to the right. Like, it doesn't seem like it's that precise, but it's like, when you really want to, you can't get it.
Yeah, this is one of the issues that I think everybody has had at one point in time while speedrunning this game.
Of course that one works. I got an action poser, that's what I gotta do. I gotta bullet time it. It's just,
so you gotta
bullet time it.
You just gotta do that, it's really simple, and then after he resets, you just gotta clone yourself and then follow him around. He'll shoot up to the balls again. So you're never supposed to see that lightning ball attack that he's doing, but
yeah, because the manipulation, as long as you stay close to Vadi, it's fine. So that's why you'll see it. You want to stay close to him, and then he'll never do the lightning bolt. Like, see?
Oh my goodness, Blue, come on.
Hey man, I'm just copying world record strats, man.
Ooh. Shots fired. Toads, where you at? Don't take that from him, Toads.
And time. 1:57:53. That's still an incredibly good time. My PB is 1:52:21, and considering like messing up all the stuff, that like a lot of Ocarina glitches and stuff, 1:57 is really good. It just shows you how much time like the new route saves in the long run.
That was a pretty good run.
Yeah, showed off the things that I wanted to show off, as well as kept it pretty safe overall.
And now we get the last little bit of the story. The hat that Vadi took in the flashback from Eslo, it's on the ground. Eslo actually puts it on Zelda. She restores Hyrule, and then Eslo takes the hat and then just vanishes into obscurity.
Sounds weird. That's pretty good. Like, Vadi 3 is, like, legendary in that it ruins, like, the amazing runs because, like, you'll just miss an orb randomly. So, it's a meme in the community, just how frustrating he can be. Because, like, you can do everything just fine and you just randomly miss and you don't know why. $1:57:53. That's not too bad for a marathon run. Yeah. Well,
If you guys are interested in TMC, I really do suggest you take Tompa's link right there. The TMC community is hands down one of the best communities I've ever been a part of. The game is actually really, really fun to run too.
yeah,
And
there's a lot
they're
of tricks.
more than I said. They're more than I can't even think of the word. My brain is not here. They're more than welcome to help you. I mean,
Yeah. Always
everybody in
looking
the
for things.
TMC community is more than happy to have more runners.
Is it really? Is Atraz's time 1 second better than what I just got? That's incredible.
That's funny.
That's really good. Look, Atraz, it's a sign. You got to come back, man.
I'm never coming back to this game. I just advocated for how great the community is and how good the run is, but I'm never coming
Like,
back to this game.
One of the great things about Minish Cap is you saw that like you can make several mistakes and like still be able to get a decent time with enough experience. Like it really does reward the effort you put in. From like there's safety strats, there's risks, rewards. If you're experienced with the run, movement just becomes second nature. And like it really does reward effort that you put into the run. There's very few like true RNG moments. Like yeah, some of the enemy patterns can be random, but it's easy to mitigate with enough experience. So it's definitely a run that I would recommend you take a look at if you're interested. So let's see what's coming up next.
Up next, we have Legend of Zahir.
Oh, Majora's Mask 3D.
Yeah, we got Majora's Mask 3D 80%.
That's going to be an incredible run. You guys will definitely want to tune in for that.
And then after that, we have Legend of Zahir playing Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds. So you guys got some really good games lined up.
The cool part about all this too is that it looks, according to World Record Mod, the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D 100% world record was recently broken. So
Oh, wow.
Now, I want to throw it out there. Just talking about how great of games that we have lined up for you guys. At 5 p.m., we have the best run because I'm doing it, so I expect everybody there.
the most broken run.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. But no, we had seriously. I'd suggest everybody look at the schedule, look at the last few games that we have before this marathon's done. We have a bunch of really good games lined up.
So thank you so much for having me, and good luck for the rest of the marathon. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Thanks, Blue. Awesome run. Live? Question mark?
Hello.
How's it going, Zahir?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you very much. Alrighty, so I'm just gonna set things up with this file, and I'm not starting to run just yet, so just ignore this part. I just gotta set things up with the options menu.
I see your Discord thing flashing, but I'm not sure if you're purposely trying to talk or what's going on. Whenever Feasel gives you the green light, go ahead and count yourself down and get started.
Okay. Alrighty. 5, 4,